funding from the Spain, Queen of Spain.
Yes.
And so it was Columbus who said, let us go. So the Spain Queen gives you money, but on this condition that if you find something, that become part of Spain.
Yes.
So surely Columbus go too far south. He could have just go straight. Then he will hit Canada and whatsoever.
Yes.
So he go very far. So then Cuba, he get the Cuba Islands, and then they move a little bit up Mexico. So this is Spain, and then South America. All these are sort of Spain language. And surely Spain have, then the English come in, they want to also. So New York was first the Netherlands, so the Netherlands was also good. So then the English come in, and because the English Empire, so they take over a lot of America, so that people speak. Now the French was also busy, but the French was a little bit. So in Canada you get some of the cities is French. Canadians, you have to speak English and French. This is the two languages, this is the official languages. So Spain have actually California. They have most of the countries. Then here in the year 1820, Mexico become independent of Spain. So they have California from 1820 to 1850. Then the Americas, a war, America take over California. So Mexico have only for 20 years California. So it's true. But you see, there's no the argument. Thus, California belonged to Spain. They have the first right. So now they're going to say, no, we come to California, California is actually Mexican.
Even when you say they are Mexican India.
So we can also now say South Africa was Afrikaans. It's our country. Let's go back. It's our country.
Oh.
So there was no claim from the black people. They have no organization, no government, no statue, no history. There's no claim. There's no record. If you have not the record, you cannot make a claim.
So, what's it like a claim?
For 30 years. Not only for 30 years. Now they will say, no, California belongs actually to Mexico, only for 30 years. But actually it would have belonged much longer to Spain before that.
Sure.
Before that, we don't know who. There was no claim, there's no record.
No record, yeah, okay.
You have to look at the stones and so on. The stones can tell you anything. It's just like from the bones. They reconstruct the dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs in reality have looked totally different than they predicted. So because they make up the bones, they have just a little bit of bones and they make up all the other bones. So the dinosaurs have probably looked totally different. So Canaanites have no record. No written record, not on stone. They've not even carved in stone. The best we have is some people have done some pictures here in the Drakensberg in caves. It is very primitive, a little, look very strange. This is the only, if I make a painting on a rock, does it belong to me now? I can know somebody was here and painted on the rock, very primitive paint, not sophisticated paint. Because in any case, they have not stayed in one place. They hunt all the time.
I see.
So they move from places to places. So now there's one rock where they've painted now South Africa belonged to the Sun people. They've not built anything, they've not built a building, they've not built a road, they have not farmed a land, or they have done nothing there. They've just maybe hunt an elephant, or maybe not even an elephant, or a lion, just a little springbok. But now the land belongs to them. So their claim is actually, any logical guy can just say, you have not really a claim. You need a good record. So therefore we say on the blockchain, you have a record. And the record cannot be erased. So if I have done a transaction with you or make a contract with you, we have a record of what you decided. And because that record is on millions of people's machines, how are you going to erase it from all the computers? And this independence, not one guy can decide, as Elon Musk can say, just the leaders, you have to go to each one and touch you and say delete it. Now you become really complex. Because how easy it is to store information. And then you have not just one little version of a little painting. It can erode very easy. You have now a storage of millions of people. How are you going to... You have not just one witnesses, you have now millions of witnesses of the same thing that have happened. How can you lie your way out of it? How can you cover your evidence? So it's not a little signature on a paper which somebody can today with Photoshop make exactly the same. So even the contracts, even it's look now good. Trump's father have a little paper there that probably the Germans still have kept. But the paper can burn.
Yes.
And paper, today you can make a perfect fake, you cannot even know. So they try to change the dollar, that you cannot easily make a fake one of it. They give it a number as the base. So when you give a lot of notes in, they scan it through their machine. They look at the number and look at the database. Have they printed? If it's not printed, they know it's a false one. And surely they burn the old ones, but then the numbers are going out. So they have at least the numbers is some way to fake it. Not completely, because I can have similar numbers. You don't know, is this number in somebody's pocket or in your pocket? So two can have the same number. So at least the bank know this number have gone out to the bank. Now you come, the other guy with the real one, he can also give his cash and say, well, this number is already in the bank, how can he have two of it?
Yes.
So you can make the fake numbers. You must just go to the bank before the guy that have really worked for it. So it's not a complete secure system. It's a little the number on the thing. And all right, so at least we have now can have a contract, a secure, depending on how many servers you have. How many independent people own the servers, make the contract. The possibility to erase it just with the blockchain become very complex. You cannot. If you erase one, you must erase everyone, can you say? And they've made the copy completely secure, can you say? It's not that you can change on the copy. There's no way to change on the copy. Alright, so now, sure, we can claim South Africa was first Afrikaners. And they claim that it has belonged to the black people very vague. Very vague. So surely even people from outside know nothing, just go through the history and so on. Say, no, the Zulus was the first people that come here. Or significant, but they come nearly the same time, in 10 years. They are the same people. Now, surely the Zulus have first in that 10 years of shock, this 1810. This is time Napoleon Wars was. They have come and conquered all the little tribes. It was a little tribes, it was very insignificant tribes. And Xhosas was the biggest tribe. And they have come down.
Yeah.
So, but then the Afrikaners come and conquer the Zulus. So no, it's the one that first conquered. Does the country belong to the first conqueror or the second conqueror? And what gives the first conqueror right? Because he have also conquered.
Okay.
They have not conquered much. Because there was nearly nothing here. And they have not lived here. There's no reason to live here. The cattle won't live here in Transvaal and the Free State. There's too little rain.
Okay.
Get too cold in the winter. So they live in the coast area. The Xhosas and the Zulus. All the others are insignificant. They are up, Botswana, whatsoever. So Transvaal and the Free State. Surely the Cape Town, there was some San people, but very little San people. Can you stand there? So when the Netherlands come and the English come, they can say, surely Cape Town, the claim, first the Afrikaners have claimed, and then the English have claimed. And then it become part of South Africa. We don't discern between Afrikaans and English. So there's not so much difference. They're both Western people, a little bit different. But compared to the brown people and the black people, they are one group. Compared to them, they are totally different groups. So the claim of the history. So now, Israel say no. Israel is 3,000 years. Go. Joseph have come. Take out all the Canaanites. And then David take out all the Philistines. But the Greek can say we was first here, we was Philistines. The Canaanites can say no. It was first us was here, not Israel. Surely Israel say, well, 3,000 years we was there. Surely after them, the Muslims come. So they actually, after the Romans, fall the Muslims. So the Muslims have it now. Surely for 1,000 years. Now you want to claim it back again? After 1,000 years? Because the Muslims have it 1,000 years. Joseph, Joshua and the Hebrews have it 1,000 years. But then the Canaanites have it for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years before that. So we know clear they have existed because of the perfect record now in the Bible. It's a good recording. Philistines are good recording. They are Greeks, so the Greeks can claim there. Now who have claimed now? the Middle East people. Oh, surely the Western people want to gain Jerusalem back for 1,000 years with all the crusades, but they was not successful.
Yeah.
It's only when England become a big empire, he take down the Muslims there. But he need a army there, otherwise they will come in. And it was just a desert type of country, nothing grows there. Just all the old ruins of Jerusalem. So who can make claim? How are you going to make a claim? So surely Israel make a claim, it's our land. It was not their land, it was the Philistines and the Canaanites' times.
Yes.
Land. So it was not their land. And why don't they take Saudi Arabia? Because for 40 years Moses have traveled through in the desert through Saudi Arabia. The Mount Sinai is there in the desert in Saudi Arabia. It's a big desert country there. They have a lot of oil there. But why didn't Israel say this is part of our? We was 40 years there. Yeah, they say only, well, we are 30 years, we was Mexico, we are now Mexicans. So how could you justify the claims? So you have now to compare with many things. Oh, surely the Chinese come 5,000 years on to China. You don't know who was before them there, or if there was any. But all we know, as if say, no, China belonged 5,000 before there was maybe other people there. We know records too long ago. There is probably some record, I don't know. But we can only know where surely there was lions and baboons and bears and whatsoever. They don't say, no, it belongs to us. But we only claim somebody with a language, have some history recorded, and we can see on stones, and they've built things and whatsoever. Somebody have lived here.
Yes.
They've worked the land. They've developed the land. They have some. Surely if I built a product, I claim ownership. Therefore, if you want the product, you have to pay for it. Now the Mexicans can say, well, we want California back, but you have to pay for it. You see Trump say, oh, we will buy Greenland.
Yeah.
Now, America has buy Alaska from Russia for a couple of $1 million. And now it belongs. They buy it. Now, surely normally they don't buy, they just invade a country. And then claim it for this. English invade South Africa and claim it for England. Because they want the gold and the diamonds. So that they, surely Cape Town was the Netherlands, belongs to the Netherlands. Then they come in and claim it. So does it belong now to the Afrikaners or the English? So now you have to go through history. How can a country claim something?
Yes.
You understand that? So Hitler made. So you just ask, what's the question? Why can you claim maybe you need some civilization somewhere? You understand that? Otherwise it don't work. So just this concept of claiming something. You see, here say, oh, the land belongs to African, Africa belongs to, therefore, all right, surely he wants, Africa belongs to the black people. But then why Malema, why don't you go to Zambia and say this country belongs to me? Why don't you go to Malawi and say this country belongs to me? Why don't you go to Nigeria and say this country belongs to me? Just because Africa belonged to the black. But who say they was the African people was not here in South Africa? in a meaningful way. The Afrikaners was here in a meaningful way. They have built something, they have established something, they have record, we have a clear record. Here have lived Afrikaners, they have developed the land in a very bad place. The French, which was Afrikaners, they've developed the vineyards. We're still sound of very old vineyards, the Toy, all these places, Stellenbosch, which is French. So I have a history. It's an indication. Something have happened here. Now where's the sun things? What have happened in Cape Town? How can they now claim? You see, now he must make all these claims in the past. And so it became now very difficult. Now does Israel belong to the Muslims, the Middle East people, or to Israel? This was now 2,000 years ago. This is a long time. They have lost the land. They have not lived in the land. The Middle East people have lived there. They have built their mosque there. The indication they was there. And the temple was destroyed. Temple was not survived there. Romans have destroyed the temple. This is the biggest, best structure. So this whole claim thing, if you conquer a country, does it belong to you or not?
Good question.
So when David conquered, does it really belong to him, or does it still belong to the Philistine, to the Greek? So surely we will read the Bible, so no, the Bible is true. He have conquered the bad Philistines. So we justified it according to the Bible. Why it belongs to us? Moses was very clear. He just destroyed all the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Persians. He have not saved Philistines. I don't know when the Philistines have come there. In his list was all the Ham from Ham. We know the Ham have gone in Africa. They look different. He have not mentioned destroy the Philistines. He have probably not know about the Philistines. The Philistines was not there. We don't know when, we only hear at Samson, this is now already 300 years or 500 years after Joshua come, we hear about the Philistines. We don't know if the Greeks have come there on the coast side and they have not protected their country, or they could not because the Philistines are smart. So the Philistines is a problem. So surely today the Semites still fight the Philistines. They hate the Philistines. They want to kill the Philistines. They want from inside destroy their countries. Can you stand? They know they are too small. They cannot fight physically. They have to fight internally, changing their mind, reprogramming that they kill themselves, give them some drugs, so that they get addicted, so that they cannot fight back, so that they can take over the country. This is the only way they can think they can conquer. So the Philistines wake up a little bit. So now we have the Semites and the Philistine. Now, whose side are you on? Are you on David's side, or are you on the Philistine side? You have no to say. You see how we was indoctrinated. The Philistine is the enemy, and David is the anointed one. We still say this. Are we so stupid? The Western people are the Philistines. They still fight. They still fight. So, and this is now eternal fight, cyber fight, media fight, philosophy fight. So, the Philistines must wake up. They will say, we have an enemy. The enemy want to kill us from inside. So we see now in Europe from inside, there's no fight. It's an inside fight, nothing to do with external. You see the J.D. Varney go there on their conference, they say, the enemy is not outside, the enemy is inside in Europe. Now he don't expand on the inside. Who is the inside? You say, it's not freedom of speech. Now, who take the freedom of speech away? It's from inside. I say, well, we have values. We are Western people. We like freedom. We want to say what we want to say. If you are an emperor, we want to give our opinion. We cannot be like Trump. Nobody can say anything about them. We just say, yes, amen, yes, amen. No, Trump say, I am right, but you have to hear a little bit your enemies. He will show you your weakness. He will show you go too far now. You have to be careful. This is the problem with the leaders. And surely even you have a good leader, you still need people point out your errors. Now, never, king is a king, you cannot talk against him. This is not a bad, this is a bad thing. Must say, don't talk to me, everything I say. I want a strong opinion. So that I can correct you, or I can think, well, I cannot correct you. Maybe I must rethink my position. So Solomon saying, if you have many counselors, issue will be established. Yeah. But if you have not counsel, everyone is loyal to you. You have a problem. And so you need this, that somebody are not afraid can say to you what you want. So that you can say, maybe you think is right, you have all your reasons, but it's always something then surely you see a lot of debates now in the Western people about South Africa, because they face the same thing in Europe. Immigrants come and take over. Immigrants in America take over. America have done this thing now a long time. Much longer than Europe. So 40% is not Western people anymore. Hispanic, black is 10%, Hispanic is 30%. So this is a big, and then like Indians, the Western people get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now the people you have to be afraid is not the Mexican and the 10% African people. The people you have to be afraid of is the Indians and the Chinese.
Why do you talk like a Tito? Chinese, I hope they can kick out all the Indians.
Because India is a big country and they all the cream of the Western people. They reason a little bit more than the Western people reason can stand. If you have a big country, you have more problems. It's like a big starship. So the whole culture must deal with much bigger scenarios. They need more food, more electricity, more housing, They need a lot of problems they have to solve. So if you have a big nation, the culture is a little bit harder on the people. Can you stand there? So therefore the Chinese big culture, surely you have to solve big problems. You have a lot of people, people go where they want. To control so many people is a big effort. You sit there in a big class of 60, you have to compete with 60 people. Can you stand there? And this is just your class. Then there is 5, 6, 7 in your grade of these classes, and you have to compete now with 1,000 people. Just your one grade. If you just want to be top in your grade. So most of the people don't make it. Only very hard-working, very smart people, they make it in the country. If you come to South Africa, this is a simple country, a simple mathematic problem. Anybody can solve it here. People are not. So you have to be afraid in America of the smart people, not the American people. They want to control now, but they cannot. They want to tell us, surely we have let the Semites in. Now, we won't say the Semites is a group, but they are a very important group. They are a little bit, somewhere, can deceive the Western people. So the Western people don't see through, don't see this is Samson come against the Philistines. He will kill 1,000, Samson killed, he's a hero. He killed thousands. The Philistines is the Western people, you cannot kill us. We have to have retribution, where we have to come back on what Samson have done. What David have done, he have killed our Goliath. We have a big Goliath. He have to do compensation for us. Now surely, not a single Western people will talk. They think the Philistines is the enemy. And Israel is the anointed people.
I feel very upset the country's here.
So, the Western people must be afraid of the real enemies. Now the Semites are smart. They say the enemy is actually Black Lives Matter, to take the attention away from them. They have to, distraction. If you want to do something, you need a distraction.
Yes, make something noise here.
So then you can do something here. So they have to have a distraction. And they make the Semites a distraction in South Africa because they want to do something else. Semites was just a distraction. In America also, Hispanics and Black Lives Matter is a distraction. Distraction from what they want to do. They need a distraction. Here, 1910, 1913, they say, wow, all the Western people celebrate Christmas. At the evening of Christmas, everyone celebrate, they put a law through for a central bank. There's only a few senators, but the others have not voted. If you are not there, you have no say. If you are not there, your vote don't count. Now all the senators go back to home to celebrate Christmas. I bring this, until today they have not cancelled it. Only now people wait, say, what had happened 100 years ago? They have distracted us so much with other things. Oh, this is good for the economy. This is a good thing. Kill the Philistines. To what preacher will say, David is the enemy, not the Philistines. Alright, so this is the problem. So you have to go now back in history, what have happened here. Surely the Afrikaners' biggest problem was the English. They have taken over the country. But now we have to punish the Afrikaners. Take their ground. No, the English have taken the ground from the Afrikaners. They surely have taken 40 years off the crowns to get back their vote, because the English, all the white have voting rights. The black people, you have at least to earn £50 a year. Otherwise you cannot vote. So only Afrikaners, some Afrikaners could not vote, they earn not so much, but most of the Afrikaners can earn it, and the English, so they can vote. But eventually, the electricity comes, the civilization grow here, more Afrikaners have £50, so they can vote. So eventually they win the vote in 1950, so they control, it's more Afrikaners. They make their own party, the National Party, and they win the English. So, and in 1961, the English must say, all right, we cannot control anymore from South Africa, and in any case, the Afrikaners will win. They will win all the time now. They are more than the English. Mm-hmm. They was about 40-60%. So most of the Afrikaners vote for the National Party. They won't vote for the English Progress Party. The Progress was 18%, very small. Mm-hmm. So now the Afrikaners, but first the English have taken over. And before you take it from Afrikaners, you must first go to the English. It was first their land. We have to give back the land to the English. We have, by voting, won it. But it has belonged to the English. Now you say by voting, or by guns, or by buying. We have now a couple of things how you can claim some ground. So surely this is the plan now. Do a lot of immigration, then America will belong to Mexico. There's more Mexico, more South Americans, they want to get in. Then they are going to vote you out, and the Mexican, you see like England, Indian president. More vote for the Indian president. Surely there's a lot of Indians there.
There's more Hindu more Hindu.
So not only, so the Indians are a little bit more sophisticated, but now they bring all the Muslims in from the Middle East. And surely a lot of from the African countries come also in. So the Middle East has not built anything. I don't know what they have done. They have just oil, therefore they are rich. And then, in any case, the Americans must run the oil refineries there. All right, so the claim of land is a question now. Can you stand there? So even Canada have belonged to America. There was just an academic, some fever or whatsoever, and because of that, they something have happened that they separate. But actually, Canada have first belonged to America, so they have a claim on it. All right, but then the French have also claimed, because they have also a big effect in America. They have a claim. The Netherlands, New York belongs to the Netherlands. They have a claim there. They was first there. And so surely now he says so many claims of valid nations. They're not nations that have not done anything. They have done significance. So they can claim it. They have the power to claim it. Why can the Zulus claim South Africa's? Why can a Khoza claim them too? What compared to all what happened in history? Then the Philistines can claim Israel. Because they was first there. Alright, so we can now go through all the countries. Now, you must know, after the Second World War, all the countries, except Italy, France, half of Germany, and the Netherlands, actually England, have not belonged to Russia. Romania belonged to Russia, Ukraine belonged to Russia, Belarus, all these countries belong to Russia, not from Finland. There's no Norway. Countries belong now to the West, not to Russia. But all the other countries, and America have given that to Russia because they've helped with the war. That was the deal. We will give you all these Eastern Europe countries, Hungary, all these countries, we'll give to you. Now, then, Russia become a democracy. Now they say, all right, we know it's different countries with different cultures. If they vote to be independent, they can be independent. So Ukraine became independent, Romania became independent, Hungary become independent, Belarus become independent, all these Eastern countries. But it was actually given to Russia. Just because they have become a democracy, they lose this country. They can have a federation. Actually, we have a Russian Federation. So in Russia, there's still many other colonies, but each country can be a federation. Why must they be independent? That was just by the grace of the Russians. If they say we want it back, it was given because they've helped in the Second World War. Otherwise, Hitler will have reigned the whole Russia. So this was the deal. Now, surely Ukraine have become independent, but you know, half of them speak Russian. So there was a Russian, very strong Russian. Now, surely in the past, Ukraine was the main city. Kiev was one of the main, Moscow was, and then Kiev was another big main city of Russia in the past. This is now before communism, under the Tsar. So they have much more claim on Ukraine. But I've not here, I've listened so many things about Ukraine. No one has said anything about the past claims. And it was just Russians' grace that they say you can get independent because of, they say, the West come now with democracy and we will give. First they give Eastern Germany back. This is half of Germany. They just give it back. The Berlin Wall, they break it off, they just give it back. What have the Russians get for that? What have the Germans pay or the Americans pay now because they just give half Germany back? What are they giving? So surely Eastern Germany, people speak German, is maybe more worth than Ukraine, which was also under their control. So just look a little bit at the history, because we talk here in front, now they're independent, and you know, this is, who are the invader? Now Russia have restrained himself. He said there's The problem is Zelensky say you cannot speak Russia anymore, and you cannot have an Orthodox church anymore. Surely the Russians are upset. They want to be educated in Russian. So Putin has said, all right, this is my people here. I am going to protect them. You don't take the whole Ukraine. This is not the invasion of democracy which they promised. This is what the leaders say, the EU leaders say, this is the Russia have invaded a sovereign country. He want to protect the Russians in Ukraine. Russia have in history, Ukraine have in history belonged forever to Russia. It was just by grace. So the claims of it is that they are sovereign country and forever is very weak, but nobody said a word about it. Biden say anything, the left say not anything. You think they have invaded. Actually, most of the Europe don't want to give money for a big military thing so that they can defend that country.
Yes.
That is not a democracy. Zelensky have taken over the power by a coup, and America was part of it. Was under Obama's time or whatsoever. Was a coup, was not a fair election. There was a fair election before, so they ousted that guy and put Zelensky in. So you have to say, what happened here? So none of these things are actually mentioned. So, now by grace, the Afrikaners have given over the country. The country have, in all forms, what any other nation have existence on this a country or nation, Afrikaners have fulfilled all that laws. So you cannot make an exception here. Because then if you make an exception, then many other countries have no right on their country. So surely the Americans have no right because there was India and there was a big force. It was not a simple force. By trickery they have gained the thing. California belonged to the Spains. By trickery they have to do a fight. Now it belongs to them. Now if Afrikaners have fight the Zulus, then the land belongs to them. There was no fight between the Zulus and the San people. They was not here anymore when the Zulus come. So what is all these claims? This is just lies. One lie after another. So then many nations have no claim on there. Surely Israel have no claim. It belongs to Africa. Israel belongs to Africa. So you cannot say that. Well, Israel, you see the Middle East don't want to recognize Israel as a country. Because they say Israel has belonged to the Middle East people. They was gone. We don't know where they was. So the only power they have gained because they've tricked the Western people, their kindness. Now, if I was kind and give you a talent, can I take the talent back?
Yes.
You know, because I say, if I have given you something, can I take it back? So now this is the question. So here's the story. The man gives them. Invest. Now the guy have the money. Can he not take his investment back?
Yes, he can.
Surely Somebody put $1 million in your company.
But divorce means I don't want to invest with you anymore.
Well, now you have to divide.
Divorce actually means I don't want to invest anymore.
All right, but now they say how they resolve the things.
So you make a loss, so now you can invest more.
Now all they say, what do you have and what does the husband have before the marriage? This still belongs to them. But then they come together, work together, then they say, what have they built together? Now it's now very difficult. The husband earn more money. But the woman do also help him a little bit. But now the law is also not right. Because you have to say, they earn another $1 million, how much have you to do with the husband and how much with the woman? But you cannot say, take a simple example in a business. Here's one guy, he get a bigger salary because he do more. Then you have a worker that work in the kitchen. He get also a salary. You have also invest. Now they have to separate. You have the kitchen girl have work in your thing, part of your, and you have done the product. Now they want to separate. Now they say half. You have to say how much has somebody add for the $1 million. You cannot say because there was two involved, they are half. But this is what the law say. But this is surely, I can reason this is not right in any standard. The guy have invested much more of his time, much more of his intelligence, much more. Well, surely the wife invests also of her time, but to make up the $1 million, how much was she responsible to make up the $1 million? It's like you have a company, you have a CEO and a secretary. She type very fast whatsoever. They start a business. Now the business that we sell, must she get half of the business? So there's no problem. You have to say, this is what the offer says. How much code have you write? If you want ownership. What have you done? What have you done to build a country that you want ownership? So if the Afrikaners have $1 million and the black people have earned 100,000, they cannot get the whole business. Just because they have more numbers. Even with more numbers, you don't say you have done to build a country as much as the Afrikaners. You have just to reason a little bit here. Just to make the statements here out of the blue. So you have to also reason. You'd say, no, was divorce. Now they must give equal. Woman is very happy. The guy feels so something is wrong. She have done something. She have not done nothing. But to have half, something is not right. She has to get something, not nothing, but she cannot get half of it. So, Jeff Bezos married a woman, a good woman, but how can she get half of this? She has nothing. If it was for her, the company won't grow half what it is now. So this is not right. Even she have look after his children or whatsoever. Was his wife, so the justice is surely not right, you have to say. You have to compensate, but you cannot say half. It's like, Musk is clear and say, marry now. You have billions of dollars now, the woman must get half of it. She will achieve nothing in her life. She she do not earn so much. She earns something, but not so much. A disclaim to earn, to take more than what you earn. It's like you have here an engineer and a kitchen woman. Now the kitchen woman wants the same salary as the engineer. You see, no. Surely the kitchen must be clean. But actually the product has to do with engineering. You cannot earn as much as him. Alright, so you have to work the logic out. You have to say how much worth is somebody in a company. Now, what happened with the law? Well, you go in a contract with the woman, this is your marriage certificate, and that contract says equal. Now, this is what the contract says, but the reality don't say it. Must you follow the contract or the reality? This is a problem. This is a problem. You have to say, even the contract say it, reality is a bigger contract. You have to listen to the reality, not what paper has said, because somebody has deceived you. This is so much. Yes, talented woman. So in the beginning she had no money. Now she sells songs. Because she has signed a contract. Get a little bit of money, but she's actually much more better. So but now they own all the songs. If somebody buy the song or play it in a movie, they pay the record company, not her, but it's her song. She have created, but because she have written a contract. So now, what must you say? Is the contract true or the reality? So surely you have now to say, you have levels of authority. So you have to say, no, the songs, even she has signed a contract just in stupidity in the beginning, because in the beginning she has nothing, then somebody helped her. But then, there are many other people. But this woman has become now a very big star. And the only way how she can get out it, she has to record new stars and don't make a contract, new songs. And don't make the same mistake. It's the same mask. You get money, take his Tesla public. Now he say, yeah, cause there's no public, I want my company back. I will buy the shares back from each one. Government don't allow that. He could do it. Because in the beginning he make a contract, public thing. Now he cannot get out of it. Is it right? Because there was a contract, a little piece of paper agreement, but you have to say the reality. You have to look at the reality is the final contract. A piece of paper is not the final contract. A piece of paper can reflect the contract, but it's not the final contract. So this is the problem. So the only way, Paul also, he go in contract with the Semites, built his car. Then he said, no, my dream is to build a car for each American. They say, no, we cannot do that. We sell the car for the elite. Surely he built the engine. You have to ask $4,000 for a car. He said, I will never get rich with this. I must sell to the common people. Only thing he can do, he has to get away from the company. Get out of the company. And then he has to build his own engine again and his own little factory again, and everything belongs to him. But this is now a struggle. You have no money, you have no factory, you have no tools, now you have to start over again.
Yes.
But you have a new idea. Surely eventually, and he wants to sell the thing cheap. And so eventually he gains us. But each time then the Semites come in, the Semites take things over.
Yes.
Alright, the only thing that can conquer it is your new idea. Your new idea, yours. And you cannot take money from the Semites. You cannot take investments. You cannot make a contract with them. No contract. Now surely I can say, no, this is fault. Here, think the new engine out. But the directors have invest money, they own company, they have the majority say. So, can you just understand? It's very difficult. So all these contracts is a sort of an agreement, but you have to say the reality is a reality. Now if you go and marry according to the law of the land is equal. Anything that was gained after the marriage must separate it equally.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
Yeah.
So, who have think this up? This is not justice. This is not a smart decision. And because they have taken decision for hundreds of years, it's not to say it's right.
Sure.
So then you know how the law works. If one judge has said it in the past, then you can take this as a reference that this judge must say the same thing.
Yeah.
All sorts of rubbish they have. But you have to look at the reality. Your contract is one thing, but reality is another thing. So, surely must go not in the marriage. Don't marry the woman. Because a marriage certificate say equal.
Oh, that's unfair.
He go with maybe some deal with the woman.
Yes.
That's all he can do. He don't go in the marriage certificate, otherwise the law will have his sword over his...
If he goes to a contract,
Just make a contract, say this is our marriage certificate, forget about the government.
I don't know how to do that. They actually want everything.
But they cannot because there was not a marriage certificate. I don't know how from the first marriage you get so free. You have maybe make a deal with her so that she don't contest it. But surely later he make no marriage certificate. He don't marry anybody. He make a contract between them. You see the injustice which was carried over through the law. The law is a very injustice thing. So if you might open a company, you get under the law of the government. There's so much injustice. They say they are justice, but I can just want to see reason through the justification of it. All right, but my question is, if I give you something, can I take it back? I make a contract with the woman, equal. Now I earn so a lot of money, she wanted a divorce. So I have given her, say, equal according to the contract. But can she get no equal? Is it right? Now, the only thing we say, you have power according to what you have created. This is justice. You can get the power of the money according to what you have created. This is your power. Your creation is your power. This is the final justice. Final justice. What is your fruit? And what is the quality of the fruit? Just look after the fruit. What have you produced? So, surely, to reason through all these problems, it's actually complex justice questions. And because a judge say or a law of a land say something didn't make it right or illegal, so the woman say, I'm married, therefore I have to get off, and if I don't get off, she's very upset. Here people say, well, California belongs to Mexico, you cannot put us out. We are Mexican, we just come to our own country. So, but how long have it belonged to you? Have you built California? Have you bring in the technology there? Have you give all the riches there? But now California belongs, I want all the cities, all the riches now. I have control. I want the tax of it. I want the fruit of what was invested here. You cannot say that.
Same, my father's my mother, she married all the sins my mother and his whole family common family.
All right. So you cannot think this is forget about the word common, this is injustice.
You don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, to chemistry. But then somebody can say, no, I teach him programming to think. Now you say, but the mother say, I have teach him all the knowledge. I spend just as much time, maybe more time. But the father have teach him how to think. Now, at the end, here are a product. What are going to earn him the most money? How to think. So you have to say, does have more value? Understand? Than to teach him knowledge or teach him how to clean the kitchen. Physical work. You see, but the maid have teach him how to do the dishes. He can do no good dishes, but the dishes won't give him money. People have judged. Dishes don't give you a lot of money. Even knowledge don't give you so much money. It gives you a nice certificate and a nice cozy job in the government, but you need to have wisdom. So you have to say, just Moses, you have add wisdom to the company. What have the wife add? What? You have to say, how much wisdom have she add to the company? This is what have value. Now the people that work for them say, oh, we have packed the package and this is we. This is communist. We are the workers. We need also say. You can pack from the morning to the evening like the Canaanites, but nothing will happen with Amazon. So you have to judge not according to how much time, the guys say, and how much work. You have to say, what is the level of work? If the level of work is higher, from one level is like 10 times more work. You can all your knowledge and nothing. Then you can have just one idea, you can get very rich. So you have to say how far in the creation work you have done. You cannot say, well, I spent the same time, do this. How I have a contract. You have first to say, what's the level of input you have made? Now the Canaanites say they have done that. They dig the mines. But the mines was forever here. Why have they digged the mines before?
Correct.
You need...
We don't want to talk about it, husband. You know, so much Chinese farmers have to go to Shanghai to build the buildings. It's not to say anything.
Building don't belong to them.
Don't belong.
You give them some salary and this is what they
What
get.
it is.
If they don't
Let
want...
them build themselves your fault.
Yeah. And if they don't want to do it, let they do their own thing.
Well, so many other we can use. China has a lot of people.
Alright, so with all these...
Why do you bring peace to a person that deserves no peace? Just take the dust off.
So you have to say, now why just go and give his wife a nice palace of a house? She have bring enough.
It was full.
Just because she's in his vicinity, she get a lot of nice cars and nice places and very famous and whatsoever.
The other one says, I also want it.
Yeah, also wanted.
Just go with it.
But she have not do it. He have done it. It's not just both was nice to her. It was not fruit of her work.
Husband, the most expensive divorce in the history. The Chinese can say, the Chinese are very smart. Most expensive divorce of the history.
But she have not right on it. So she have to say to the, why I say it. She cannot even now claim because she have already a very good life with him, which she have not earned. She have not produced the money. She have to say, I want nothing. I already have a very good life with you. This was the right thing. Just because the law forced that she can get, she cannot take it. So, because somebody go and steal money and give it to you, can you take it now? They say you are accomplice. You are also a robber. And you have not robbed, but you have sent somebody to rob. Now you are accomplice. You are also part of the robber. You have not just to think that she take it. She have not the right. She have not earned it. If she was just as good as Jeff Bezos and because of her the success of the business of the pen, then she can say, yeah, I have earned it. But surely she have not earned anything. This is a good example. Now, because the law says she can she take it? She must just say to him, you have already given me a good life. I am in debt to you. I must actually pay you back. Now, this is right. This is justice. Now, this is what the Canaanites must say. The Western people have come in here. They have helped us. They've given us money. We have grown. We don't earn things. We, by grace, they have educated, feed our children. To who? Where do I ever hear this out of the Canaanites' mouth? You know how the Afrikaners are kind of hungry. There was no hungry. The children go to school. They have not food. The government gives them food, gives them a house. Not a shack, electricity, a civilized, which they cannot get in Zululand. There's a hut they have. They have no electricity or sanitizing, no water, nothing. And then, here's the Trevor, he can talk not much, but the Afrikaners have put him in a white school. Why must he do that? Therefore, you learn a good English. You learn his English so good. Can you stand that? Because he was in a school. All kindness. Without this, he could not speak English. You know, all these, they try to speak English. They say English is very bad. So, the whole, what the West have bring a civilization especially to South Africa. Too. How are you going to compensate for that? Now, they have to be grateful what the Western people have done here. But they are not grateful. They are the opposite. They are unhappy. It's just like the immigrants are unhappy. It was by grace that America let them in. They don't have, China don't let people in. You have to think twice. So if the people can say, oh, well, now China's out. Yeah, you cannot even go to Beijing if you come from another province. So what is all this thinking which come out? So the case for the Canaanites here in South Africa are not a strong case. It was just the kindness. So Jeff Bowser is kind to his wife.
He was forced to be kind to his wife.
So surely in the beginnings his wife is just kind. He make money. She has also an advantage. It's not that she make money. This is grace. You can say you have to pay for your house. He don't say it. He say you have to earn your own money. But now there's a divorce. Now the law says she must get half of what he get. So this is not right. So even he show grace, and now when it come to the point, she take advantage also. So you have to give me more grace. This is not right. How can a judge make a decision like that? Because it's on the law books. And therefore the law books have the final say. What rubbish is this? All right, so why is it important? Because you have to make a case. If you want to, Jess Bow say, I'm not going to give her money, he must make a case. Now he's a kind guy, just let it go against him. So now I just take the parable, so surely we have to think through it, because it seems the Western people have no case against the immigrants, against the Canaanites. We have no case. They have a very strong case. Why are there not somebody that reasons the thing through? What case do we have? Or don't we have a justification case? So now the Americans have a problem. They have let the Hispanics in, a lot of Hispanics. Can they revert it? Can they say, we don't want the Hispanics anymore in America? So this is the question. Can they do that? Take all the Hispanics out. Now, what was the case Hitler have make? He make a case to his nation. Now, surely the Semites is there for hundreds and maybe thousands of years in Germany. But the Semites don't worry about the Germans. They want the power of the Germans. They want the same thing they have done now to Europe and America and South Africa. This is what they done already a long time ago. So Hitler has noticed it. He's not against England or even France. He's against the things inside his country. There's a group of people that they look like German, they speak German, but their whole thinking is against the German nation, is to give the German nation some drugs. And the Germans cannot figure out this is drugs. To go and borrow money from the bank. They often make it so easy. This is a drug. You cannot go and get free drugs. You become now their slave. So what right have he to put them out? So you have to say, what is his right? That they live there for very long. Can he put them out? They are born there many generations. To what is his case? Have he really a justification case? No, nobody asks these questions. They say, you see, it is so bad. He put them in concentration camps and he must have killed them, 6 million of them. That is such a gross illogic. But surely this is what have happened. Everyone say it. Therefore it's true. But the mathematics just don't work. Well, 15 million before and after the second was still 15 million. Maybe 100,000 or whatsoever have died, but not so much. They have not evidence. But here, because they have monuments there, this is what have happened. They've write it in stone. How they get to this number, nobody can justify. Oh, but everyone say it. Don't try to say it. You are a denier. But the mathematics say it's not possible. But you are so bad. So, it's a strange group of people. They have their own identity. They are not Germans. They speak German. They are not for the Germans. They are to get the power of the Germans. Germans can become their slaves. If they don't want to be a slave, they will kill him. Take his house whatsoever. They will destroy the German. They have no feeling for that. It is not their family. They belong to a different family. They want to get the advantage for their family, not advantage the family where they lived. So what is his case? Now surely the Germans say, no, we don't want the immigrants now. But what about the Semites in their country? So after they lost the war, the Semites flood the country in the education, in the banking system, in the government system, in making the whole nation guilty. They was guilty, but now the Germans are guilty because they say, no, this is my enemy. This is not for me. I have an enemy. You know, what can an enemy be? An enemy can be a virus. I must kill the virus, even if it's part of your body. You can say that because it's part of my body, I must accept him. So he's not part of the nations. Their purpose is not to grow the nations, not to sustain that the nation survives. It's to destroy the nation. There's a virus inside them. But you not kill the virus inside you, even if it's inside you. So surely you have to have reasons. Now they only say, well, Germany is for the Germans, talking not for the immigrants. And even the immigrants now there, even they have no paper, undocumented, no papers. They are not citizens. And even they become criminals. They cannot be put out. At least they say if they are a criminal and they are not documented, we can put them out. Just to get that case, who are talking like that? To destroy the German people. The German have a blessing. Now it mix it, and the Muslims have areas now. You cannot go as violent areas. They are not as simple as the Canaanites. They are really violent. So you cannot get. Now surely the Germans must first get the immigrants out. Then they must get the Semites. We don't know about the Semite group, but you know, they run the government. They run the law. They run the media. This is not Germans that run it. All right, so now Now, surely there's no people that talk, but the arguments are very vague arguments. Nobody think a little bit deeper. Surely if you say you are a sovereign, you say, who is the sovereign nation? Why are German sovereign different from the French? Otherwise, there's no concept of sovereignty. Can you understand? Because there's a difference. Otherwise, you say, but they are also Western. We are Western. Why? We must just be one country. So you say, no, we talk a different language. But surely we have a different culture. We sing. The French don't sing. Can you understand? We build cars. The French don't build cars. You get here and there, somebody build a car, but not as good as the German. The German things are very logical. How they think and talk is just different than the French. The French is emotional. The Germans are very exact. So they reason through things. Even as a woman, I don't know the right wing, but she's clear logic in her presentation. Tell all the things she tells. See, we have the most nuclear stations. They say we have not closed them. We have bombed them, but we can never use them again. I said we could have just closed them, so if there's a crisis, we can just open them again. Can you understand that? I says the nuclear is highly engineered. Things will stand there for 100 years. We are Germans, we build things very precise. So why have they destroyed them? Somebody hate the Germans. Want to destroy everything. And then they destroy the pipeline. Somebody hate them. Nobody's saying there's somebody that hate them. Who have done it? Who have made the decision? It's Germans.
No, somebody forced them to do it.
Can you stand it? So you have to say, it seems that the West still cannot figure out who's behind all these left things. They know it's not Germans. So she said, why have they destroyed the things? Why have they bombed it? What type of fault line is that? Why don't you just use all the parts of it for something else? Why do you blow it up? Well, what type of thinking is this? Who have made this decision? From what root, what spirit? It's not the German spirit. And she goes through a list of all the things the government do. That government is not a German government. They don't care for the people. And then they make simple things. All the Germans use now some oil heaters because it gets cold. Just outlaw all the. Now you need, I don't know, a gas heater or a solar heater or whatsoever, but the heaters is not good enough. It's cold. They just say it's illegal. So many people have invested in a good oil heater. Costs about $20,000. Now it's illegal to use it. First, bring your solar things out, and then good enough, and then take it away. Are you stupid to take it just away? First, let the other things be abundant, so that we don't need this anymore. We can use it from solar. But they have not built enough solar. Who made the stupid decisions? Not Germans. All right, so we have something in the West that's not Western. Is to destroy what person, what Paul say, who will kill his own flesh. He nurtured his own flesh. This is what, and nobody hate his flesh. He nurtured it. So he said the same, like your, the wife is like your body. You have to nurture. You don't go against her. Can you stand there? He talked now for the woman.
So good husband, oh, yeah, good husband.